Hey, it's Dr. Amanda with Straightsmile Solutions, straightsmilesolutions.com, and I'm going to talk to you a little bit more about 5 things I'd change if I was going to go like active to AAO again. And actually, I am an AAO retired member. I was able to do that, but these are 5 hills I'd die on if I really wanted to save the profession of orthodontics. And I don't know that I really want to save it. I'm not that attached to the profession at this point. I haven't been treated the best, but I'll put the 5 hills I'd die on out there. And if there's anyone that's out there that wants to help me help save the profession of orthodontist, then this is how we have to do it. And it really just comes down to the way that we are billing and structuring things is maybe more of a medical facing profession, and it's just not going to be productive doing what we're doing unless we change the way that we're compensated. So, and I don't know that it's possible to do this in an insurance based model, but let's get to what we're doing. Okay, so basically, there's a much bigger shift. I mean, 20, 30 years ago, even 15 years ago, it was definitely an easy referral model where every general dentist would send all their patients that needed braces to the orthodontist. There was a nice funnel, you didn't have to market. Therefore, overhead wasn't as big of a deal. But now things are different. The easier cases are being done by the primary care dentist. Good for them. Low hanging fruit. It wasn't that hard, especially with new technology. They're allowed to do this, so good for them. I mean, I would do it too if I was in their shoes. Obviously, I'm teaching them how to do it. So, I mean, the fact of the matter is, if orthodontists aren't going to focus on what they need to and are still stuck in the old school ways, there's going to be newer school primary care dentists that pick off low hanging fruit and find opportunities to either do easy care or to do good care, if you guys aren't doing what you need to do. So let's talk about the shift. So there's a shift from originally all ortho was done at age 12. Everyone just got referred at 12. We pulled teeth, if we needed to. It wasn't that hard. But now there's more of a shift to maybe managing growth at age 6 instead of straightening teeth at 12. So there's a kind of a major financial disconnect because in the managing, we don't always start. There's a lot of counseling and referrals and just education that can go on for years and years before you're actually ready. So basically, we're kind of like a specialized primary care manager. So I was just thinking about this a little bit more, and I was like, okay, well, let's think about this. How does my family physician, how does my internal medicine physician get paid? Does he ever do any procedure on me? No, he hasn't done any procedure on me ever. I don't need a procedure. I come in every 6 months or every 12 months, depending on what cycle I'm on. We go over what's going on, what things, my labs, whatever, my health. Um, and he refers me to other people as needed. I mean, that's what we do. And he gets compensated for his time. And then throughout the year, if things come up, I communicate with him and he gets compensated for that. That's fair. Why are the orthodontists and people providing orthodontics not being compensated for the time and the years we spend with patients before we actually do anything? And honestly, this is an issue because I've had a lot of dentists that come to me and say, hey, this is BS, Like, here we are spending years going over airway and getting records and sending them to ENT, and maybe we're getting myo involved. And eventually the parents just get burnt out, even though this is all the right stuff to do, and they just go find some chop shop where they can quickly go get teeth pulled and get braces slapped on, even though it's not the right thing to do. And I'm never being compensated for the time I'm putting in, these years I'm putting in. And I'm like, you're not wrong. So, but this is kind of my new vision of the new orthodontic model, which may not happen in my lifetime, but I mean, it's very easy for me. I could actually create this model myself if I wanted to pick a city and hang a shingle up. I could do this. I just wouldn't be taking insurance. So, and this model would confuse a lot of people. But I mean, I think it is definitely possible. And the reason why I'm putting my vision out there for everyone to listen to is because there's going to be some venture capitalists or some other group of dentists or physicians that are going to listen to this and be like, yeah, we do need this. I want to get involved in this. And if you do, I'm the right person. So, okay. So number one, I think we need to have maybe an airway and growth subscription model, which is, basically starting at 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 while we're waiting to get started. They are paying, either a monthly or an annual fee to be supported by the orthodontist to help support their airway and growth. Now, do I think insurance should pay for this? Absolutely. I think insurance should pay for this. I think medical insurance should pay for this. I don't think it's a procedure, therefore I don't think dental insurance should pay for it. But in any case, so the idea is that we're having active growth monitoring. Now, why are people going to want to pay for this? Well, they're only going to pay for this if people aren't doing it for free anymore. So right now there's lots of you guys doing it for free, which is a very nice service. And usually these patients do turn into your active patients, and then you get the siblings. So I mean, everything, all good work deserves, some compensation. But basically, we're going to be professionally monitoring the airway, sleep screening, coordinating with ENTs, sleep specialists, myofunctionally, habit tracking, posture, things like that. So it's going to stabilize your cash flow and compensate you for the years of professional guidance provided before a single bracket is placed. So that's the point of the airway and growth subscription model. And to be honest, I mean, I think it comes down to getting rid of the free consults. I mean, that's what it really comes down to. And I think that's what I'm going to have to do. I mean, it sucks, but that's how it is. Okay, number 2, unbundling diagnostics from hardware. So the free consultation is the biggest hurdle to the airway-centric care, but airway diagnosis does require a CBCT analysis, often rhinomanometry or detailed soft tissue exams over time. So then you're also going to have a comprehensive airway and developmental assessment fee. So we've got a monitoring, but we've got a fee for assessment to get the CBCT to evaluate it. Often you're going to have to pay for someone to read it because there's areas that we don't read that are picked up on. Depends on if you do that or not. But ultimately, we're getting paid by our brain, not by our pliers. So we're charging for the diagnosis separately, which is what medical doctors do. They charge for our diagnosis and evaluation. So even if your recommendation is, yeah, you need to refer to get surgery at the ENT, or you need to refer to myofunctional therapy for a year, or yeah, we're going to start an expander today, you're going to get compensated just for that diagnosis, which is separate. Right now, we're not being compensated for the workup. We're only being compensated if people start. We should be getting compensated for the workup. And you know what? Right now, that's frustrating because if people want to take our records and go elsewhere, they can. But this way, at least if we're already being compensated for it, so be it. So, okay. Next, that was 1 and 2. Let's talk about the medicalization of the billing process. I already kind of talked about that. So since airway and growth are health issues, not just cosmetic ones, the future model should involve billing medical insurance CPT codes instead of dental insurance, using a medical billing service to file for procedures under codes like office visits or unintended sleep study coordination. This way, the medical insurance doesn't have a lifetime maximum like dental plans, and allows us to charge more for what the plan's worth. So I like that idea. I mean, billing medical is being done in some offices, but it's extraordinarily, it's a lot more complicated. So obviously, fees are going to have to be higher. So, I mean, I think what sucks about this is this concept of this new orthodontic model is it is going to benefit people who have cash. That's what it comes down to. So, but then again, most people are barely getting any money from their insurance anyway. So there's a lot of people who are willing to drop their dental insurance if they knew that they could just prepare for this. I mean, if you knew you never had to pay your dental insurance copay, it's one thing if it's free from your doctor, but a lot of people aren't getting it for free anymore. They're paying $100, $200, $300 a month. Well, if for 18 to 20 years, instead of paying that out, $200, $300 a month, that's what? $3,000 a year times, say, 20 years. I mean, that's a lot of money. So, I mean, that would more than cover a lot of orthodontics, for all your kids. And I mean, to be honest, a lot of people don't have cavities or don't need a lot of work. So nothing wrong with having that option. Number 4, the phase 0 concept. So right now we've got phase 1 and phase 2, right? Your phase 1 is from age 7 to 9. Phase 2 is when all your teeth are in. We need a phase 0 just for habit and airway correction. We should be allowed to be compensated. Yeah, that's the other option in insurance billing. I just think that there's going to be a lot of people. It's going to be hard because there's not going to be a lot of proof. So a lot of people are just going to throw referrals out and say, okay, I referred you, but they're really not going to know what they're doing. So I don't know how well that's going to go. Lastly, the transition to time-based billing. And I love this idea. I actually added time-based billing to my consulting practice at Straightsmile Solutions. We do have a time-based billing option now too for people who just want quick stuff and want full control of everything. So, so basically it's like your fee is set for your time and you're billed for your professional time. So as you're coordinating things, sending emails for the patient, coordinating things for the email, you're deducting from a retainer agreement that you guys agreed on. And I mean, your front desk has got their part, the doctor's got their part. I mean, I think it's a brilliant idea. I mean, I don't know that there's that many medical doctors that have a time-based billing concept, but you can do whatever you want as long as the patients agree to it if it's not insurance driven. So nothing wrong with that. So those are the 5 hills I'd change. Like I said, I am definitely considering doing this, or at least using some of these concepts to put together kind of a next level practice. But I would have an ENT in that practice, and it would have medical billing already put in, ENT, OMT, everything. It'll all be in the practice. So that is my goal. If anybody wants to start that in the state of California, I'm in. Let me know.